One. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sociopodcast podcast, or whatever we decided to call this. And this is episode 3, I believe. You wouldn't know that if you knew when we started, because I think our second episode was literally like months ago.
I think you would be right.
Right?
I mean, it's been tough. We started school, been busy. I mean, there's no excuse though. We need to be on our grind.
Yeah, on the podcast grind, because y'all know how much that gets us in life.
Yo, we should play Are You Smarter Than a
Being
Fifth
well-rounded.
Grader? Are you down to play Are You
Smarter
Smarter
than a
Than a
Fifth-
Fifth Grader?
Like, I would be quite down. I've seen the show, and it seems like they give you very not fifth grader questions.
I'm gonna see where I can find questions for the. This is stupid. I looked it up and it gave me all the answers.
Like I watched Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader once, and the questions I got were like solve this differential calculus. It's like, what fifth grader's getting that? Or just the most specific, obscure trivia that's like, did they prepare someone for this?
I'm not sure. Where do you think I could find a test? Like,
You didn't. Wait, I thought you had this like a bit or something.
wait, what? What did you say?
Well, you brought it up, so I imagine that meant you had it like planned.
Yeah, I had.
You
I
brought
have
the
it
fifth
as
grader
an
thing. I
idea.
thought that meant you had it like.
I mean, I had it as an idea, but I
Okay. As an idea, you didn't like make sure to bookmark the link or anything.
I thought it would be super easy to find. Oh.
All right, well, I'll tell you this, because here's an idea I had. I had an idea of we can make it a podcast where we give life advice. So I'm sure you know the little site called Yahoo Answers. It's most well known by high school students who use it to cheat on their exams and their homework. But I've looked through some of their other sections, like the family and relationship section. There are a lot of really interesting questions about life and whatnot that interesting to discuss and give responses to. And this would be interesting in general to give little answers about.
Yeah, fair enough.
I feel like that's something we could have a field day with and go on about for a while. But despite that, I still think, though, that we're almost sort of obligated to discuss something today.
I mean, yeah, we could do whatever we want, though.
It was I understand that, but we chose a pretty significant day to do this. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce that Kanye West has been confirmed as the next president-elect of the United States.
You know, it was shocking news to find that out, too. Like, I got really excited when I first saw that. I almost cried.
I really expected him to win. I wrote his name down in every category. This Senate race is where he wasn't running.
He would have been the first black president. That would have been awesome.
First black and first female president. It would have been amazing. It would have broken every milestone.
Yeah, he would have. He's the best candidate because he's cool.
And good music.
Yeah, and good
The
music.
musician president would objectively be the best.
Yeah, but he's cool. That's why he should win. Oh, it's so ridiculous. He should have won. He was close. It came down to Nevada.
I'll talk though.
What?
Nevada. And ultimately, that was what turned whatever color Kanye's color was. Not red. Whatever the.
How many teaspoons are in 5 tablespoons?
You don't know how many teaspoons are in 5 tablespoons.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is an easy one. 2 teaspoons in 1 tablespoon, that's 10.
Yep. That's what I was going to... Oh, no, that's not...
Well, it's actually the answer. I completely made that up.
Yeah, that was wrong, but that's what I was thinking.
2 spoons are in a tablespoon. I don't actually know.
It's there are 15 teaspoons and 5 tablespoons, so 3.
So 1 teaspoon, or wait, so 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. Okay.
The bassoon is a member of
So
what
5
musical family?
bassoon?
Yeah, what musical family is the bassoon?
Woodwind, right?
I don't know.
Woodwind, right?
Yeah, it is. Okay, I didn't know that.
Do you not have the answer?
I do, but I have to click it to know. All right, this is my question. In what U.S. city do the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers meet and form the Ohio River? Dude, I don't know. Cleveland?
Seneca.
It's what?
Yeah, I don't even know what you said. I don't even know what you said.
It's Pittsburgh. I don't know. All right, this is also my question. If Jacob stands on Spencer's shoulders, they are 2.5 yards high. How many feet is that?
2.5 yards high. So 1 yard is approximately 1 yard is 3 feet.
No.
So, wait,
A meter is 3 feet.
a meter?
That's correct.
A yard is also 3 feet.
Well, a yard is.
A yard is exactly 3 feet. A meter is like approximate.
Yeah, a meter is a little bit
Like
bigger.
close. We're converting to feet, right? We're converting from yards to feet.
So if it's 2.5 yards, it's got to be
So
seven.
that's
and
at
a
least
half.
6 feet.
It's 7.5.
That's the answer.
I'm saying 7.5. What are you saying?
Easy.
Yeah.
7.5. That's definitely it.
How many faces are there on a cube?
6.
Yeah, that's easy.
That was weirdly easy.
If Pablo divides 111,000 by 100, or crap. All right. If Pablo divides 111,111 by 11, what number does he get?
I don't know math questions. By 11. So I think multiplying a number by 11 basically just. Yeah.
I think it's 1,000.
What does that mean? Is there a theorem for that?
I have no idea.
Might be 1,000. Well,
I think it's 1,000.
I think a nice little trick would be to round down to an easy number and then accommodate for it.
What?
Would be that number divided by 10.
I think it's 1,000. I don't know. What do you think?
11.
Oh,
I think it's a trick question.
it's 10,101. That's a.
Isn't this from a show where they like ask it to you on live television? You're not gonna have a pencil and paper at the ready, are you?
No, you don't get anything.
Like, are these questions like what website are you? Are these questions taken directly from the show?
No, this is just BuzzFeed.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, because like, I'm sure they did their research.
In English, lice is the plural of what word?
These. Or wait, no, louse. It's louse. I actually know that.
I actually don't know that, but how do you spell that?
Lout.
No, that's not it.
Wait, am I close or
It's louse.
louse? Okay, I knew it was something like that.
That's weird. I've never heard of that. What color in the visible light spectrum does chlorophyll? Oh, duh. Chlorophyll in plants absorb the least. I don't know.
Green.
It's green.
Yeah, chlorophyll is green. So if you know how physics works, it's whatever color they don't absorb, they absorb the least of. That's how they appear.
Oh, so they're
Fun fact for everyone: this game is little game is our podcast's fun fact corner.
This is stupid. I don't know any of this stuff. What was the original name of the city that was renamed Constantinople in the 4th century AD?
Istanbul.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. No, that's not it. It's
I know they might be giants.
It's not it. You're wrong. It's Byzantium. Byzantium.
What?
It's Byzantium.
Read the question again.
What was the original name of the city that was renamed Constantinople in the 4th century AD by Constantine the Great?
Oh, right. I knew the song as Okay, right. The
I-
Constantinople later changed its name to Istanbul, but it was Byzantium first. I totally forgot that.
I was gonna say Byzantine Empire. I don't know history at all. Budapest.
But apparently you knew Byzantium.
I didn't know that, but Budapest is the capital of what European country?
Hungary.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's good for you.
I'm 100% confident.
Yeah, that is right. But known as the Conqueror, what was
Sweet.
the first name of the king who won the throne of England in 1066? Henry.
The 8th?
What?
Or the 8th?
The first king.
Henry the First.
No, it's not Henry. It's William. We're both stupid.
William. I don't know my England kings.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. If a car is traveling at 40 miles per hour, how long will it take to go 190 miles? Alright, that's just dumb math. I'm not even going to do that question. I don't know.
Really? That's kind of a weird question.
Yeah, I'm not doing that one.
I know how I would calculate that, but that's something I would need like a calculator for.
I don't need my calculator for that. I can figure that out in my head.
All right, well, tell us what the answer is.
It is... Alright, so 40 miles per hour, so... 40, 80, 120, 160... And then there's 30 more miles. 4 hours and 45 minutes. Alright. True or false? Oh, you can't see this. Never mind. How many nouns are in the following sentence? Ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The rabbit ran to the cafeteria and ate a big salad.
Three.
Yep. What unit of measurement is abbreviated OZ?
Ounces.
Easy. True or false? The human shoulder...
Isn't this like...
Isn't it what?
I thought the premise of the show is that, like, these 5th graders are going up against, like, adults or people who aren't stupid.
I mean...
They really gave them these easy questions?
We got a lot of them wrong. Alright, true or false? The human shoulder is a ball and socket joint.
I don't feel no balls. Maybe? Sure.
It
yeah,
is.
I'm gonna go with yes, because I don't know anything about anatomy.
It is. I mean, that is kind of a dumb question, though, because that's not, like, any terminology. Which one of these is a mammal? A seahorse, sea lion, or a sea urchin?
I think it's a sea lion.
You would be right. Let me look up millionaire questions.
I'm gonna say, like, this is fun. Like, this is a fun little thing to do. But the problem I have with it is that it feels like we're not doing a great job of it to kick off some more interesting podcast discussion.
Well, what are we supposed to talk about?
And the idea I had with Yahoo Answer. In fact, I even took the time before we started this to go through and find some random questions that I thought were interesting, bookmark them. Honest, just scrolling through Yahoo Answers is a pretty interesting experience, since a lot of them are pretty good, especially if we can give some evidence to help, or advice to help someone.
True.
It's an interesting idea. Some people ask pretty funny questions as well. Alright, let me pick out a good one. Alright, here's a good question. So we're gonna give you and we are going to give advice to help people, right?
Got it.
Alright, so are you ready?
Yup.
Here's the first one I found, just Here's the first one I found, just randomly scrolling through Yahoo Answers. The subject is, wife having affair with coworker. I don't know what to do. Just discovered that she is having an affair with another man who works with her. I first saw text messages from him telling her how much he loves her and cannot wait to see her again. I was not very nice to her over the years, as I've had one-night stands, short-term flings, and one full-blown affair where I got my mistress pregnant, and I secretly gave her the money to get an abortion. Okay? My wife found out about it afterward. I have a temper, and I used to hit her and insult her in the early days of our marriage. I get really insecure about her looking at other guys to the point that I became controlling. I was kind of ashamed of. Wow, he sounds like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Her lover told her, in the text that I found, to leave me, telling her that I'm a waste of space and time, and that she could do far better than me, and that she should be with someone like him. I don't want her to leave me. How could she do this to me? I have not hit her for over 2 years now. And that's the message.
I'm so confused. I think everything's like...
How are you confused?
I don't understand what the problem is.
His wife is apparently considering having an affair with someone, or on him.
Yeah, again, I don't see what the problem is.
Well, she loves him. Or she loves her. She doesn't want her to leave him.
I think it's fine. Things happen.
How so? Are we going to help him? Are we going to give advice to people? Can I just say, I really like the answers that other people gave on this one. One of the answers says, leave her for his wife. And another one of the answers says, you should hang yourself. Why did you even think to stop hitting her?
That's...
Jesus.
We gotta move on. I can't...
People really... People don't give very good advice.
Alright, here's a personal question.
I'm gonna pick a different one.
Wait, I have a personal question.
For me? Personally, yeah. Or...
Yeah, for you. What is a movie ending that makes you cry? No matter how many times you've watched it before.
Because I don't think I've ever seen a movie more than once. Yeah. A movie ending that made me cry though. I remember when I was younger, I got kind of choked up by not the ending necessarily, but various moments in. And this is when I was really little, but Finding Nemo had a few parts that got me kind of choked up, or whatever the 6-year-old kind of that is. Yeah, laugh it up all you want. It's a great movie, and I'll stand by that.
I just don't remember any sad parts from Finding Nemo.
Oh, wait, well, that's not sad, but just happy. That kind of emotional. But if you want to talk about, kind of sad, I just have a really great one. The Sixth Sense. That's a really good movie. That got me pretty good in the feels.
Never seen it. Is it on Netflix?
I don't know. I feel like it might be because it's a popular movie, but then again, Netflix is not really known for its stellar movie selection.
Alright. Well, alright. Now you do one of the ask things, and we'll try to give people help, and then I'll ask you another question after that, and we'll keep doing that, alright?
Yeah, because the last one went so well. Alright. Here's a random one. Girls, please help. Alright, do you think we can help her with this?
I think so. I don't see why not.
I want to start by saying that I trust my boyfriend. I just don't know what to do in this situation. Very close, and he's a likable person. He's only had 2 rough breakups, and the others have been very civil. For this reason, he's still close with those 2 of his exes. But because he's close with them, he will hang out with them both in group settings and one-on-one. And it makes me uncomfortable that he sees them all. It makes me uncomfortable that he sees them at all, but especially in private. I voiced these concerns, and his excuse is that they weren't serious relationships. It doesn't matter. I just get insecure and compare myself to them, and I don't know what to do. He's obviously known them before he knew me, so I feel like I'm out of place asking him to unfriend them. Please help. All right, so my first thought with this is not even the question itself, just her use of the word unfriend. She wants him to unfriend them, like just click on their name and make them go away, which is a little weird. But in terms of the actual question itself, it's like, I mean, I kind of get where she's coming from. That's a lie. I don't understand this at all.
Wait, so
this is something that a lot of people. So this is something that I see a lot. Like a lot of people I know who are in relationships have told me that they suffer from this problem to some degree, where they're feeling insecure about their partner's relationships, and it makes them feel somewhat inferior.
I don't understand that at all.
And that's I don't either, but I have no idea like what the rationale behind that is. But it's such a common thing that I guess I can't totally disregard it.
Okay, wait. Can you just break down the exact problem for me? What is the exact problem here?
The exact problem is she has a boyfriend, she loves him, and supposedly he loves her. She is having trouble believing that to the fullest degree, though, simply because he is still friends with his previous ex-girlfriends. And that makes her insecure. She doesn't know what to do about it.
To me, I don't see a problem with that. Unless it becomes a problem. There's no problem unless it becomes a problem.
I think that's a good answer. If it's not becoming an issue, like she's creating an issue out of nowhere, right?
I could say that, yeah. I mean, I can understand like the fear of it becoming a problem, but I mean, I would just don't be with anyone you can't trust. Like if you can't trust them, that's you. That's not them. They can hang out with whoever they want if they're trustworthy. That's all it comes down to. It's not who they're hanging out with.
I would very much like for someone who has been in this situation to offer up their perspectives. Because again, I do agree that it's just a weird thing to get hung up on, but I really want to understand why.
I've been in this situation.
I've been on which side of the situation were you on? Were you the one jealous, or were you the one?
I was on the other side, yeah.
So someone was jealous of you? Someone was jealous of you for your past relationship?
Yeah, I'm not going to name names. I could tell you after for sure, but I'm not going to name any names, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask you to name names while we're recording, but like, did they ever ask you, or did you ever go to them and say, "Hey, could you tell me why you're feeling this way? Is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there some way I'm making you uncomfortable about it?" Did you ever talk to them like that?
I think it was just like fear of me like wanting to go back to the person, which I can understand because I probably I did want to go back to that person, and I still do to this point. Like,
oh, so they're right then, right?
I mean,
so they were completely right in their fears.
Dude, I got.
Okay, crap. I don't think we're doing a good job at helping.
No, because
maybe this girl's right.
Because all right, like I guess they technically were right, but I was with the person, and I would never like do anything with someone else while I'm with someone. Like I just have too much like pride in myself to like be respectful.
Okay, but I think I'm starting to understand now, because what you just said, while it sounds like a good philosophy, I feel like it kind of plays into their fear, because you just said that you'll never do anything while you're with someone, and that's fine, that's noble and all, but I think the fact that you need to add that as a caveat is what might make the girl a little bit uncomfortable. From the girl's perspective, it should be you wouldn't do that. Not just because you're in a relationship, but just because you wouldn't be interested in going back to that at all. The fact that you're only restraining yourself because you're in a current relationship might be what's getting to her.
All right, listen. The girl that was jealous is gone out of my life right now, and the person she was jealous of is in my life right now.
So again, who was proven right in this situation?
I don't think I did anything wrong.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm not saying you did anything wrong at all. I'm not saying you should change the way you feel. That would be an unreasonable thing to ask of you. I'm just saying that I find it interesting that it's just something that she felt, and so I put myself in the shoes of someone that I probably won't be able to relate with anytime soon. Or if I am a girl, that alone is a pretty unreasonable thing to imagine myself in. If I was a girl, better yet, I'll just flip it around. If I had a girlfriend with previous exes, actually, that still doesn't work because I don't really think I would care that much if my girlfriend started cheating on me.
Just use me as an example then.
Okay. So let's say I'm your girlfriend, and I don't want you to leave me. I want us to be together forever, no homo, right?
Right.
Now, I feel like even if I was 100%, even if I was 1,000% confident, without a shadow of a doubt, that you would leave me or cheat on me or go with some other girl, even if I was 100% confident that, I feel like I would still feel bad about myself if I knew that if some part of you in the back of your mind was like, well, I wouldn't mind being with that person again. Sounds like that's kind of not entirely off base.
Dude,
I feel like that might be the perspective.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I was just in love with another person the entire time.
Well, then she was right. That's the problem.
No, she was.
So maybe
this is a very specific situation where she was 100% right, and she was on the dot. But it is because there's a lot of other things. Like I never wanted to be with her in the first place, but she made it impossible for me to be with the other person. So that's why I was in love with.
All right. So she was worried about feeling inferior. Well, meanwhile, in reality, you wanted nothing to do with her at all.
Dude,
so awesome.
I wish I could just like say everything like on camera like so badly because it just like I feel like such a bad person.
No, I don't. New theory. So I'm really glad that we started doing this because I think we cracked this wide open. Because I have a new theory now. Maybe girls have like some kind of sixth sense for this sort of thing. And like they just know when someone's feeling other feelings.
Okay, well, yeah, she knew I was feeling other feelings because I told her I loved someone else.
So maybe this girl's right. The girl in the Yahoo Answers.
No, she's wrong.
Maybe the guy really does. How do you know?
Because girls are always wrong.
What, the girl you were with? The girl that was forcing you to be with her?
Sure. Dude. Yeah, the girl in the Yahoo Answers, I think there's a possibility that it's right, but you never know unless you, like, you know, right?
Well, out of all the cases I know of where someone, out of all the cases that I personally know all the details to, where someone was jealous of someone else, the only case I know of is the case you just described to me, where she was right. Meaning that currently, all the knowledge I have about situations like this, there's a 100% chance statistically that the girl's absolutely right.
Dude.
So I'm going to write up the Yahoo Answers. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to say just that. There's a 100% chance that your man is planning to leave you.
Wait, did you know that 90% of statistics are made up on the spot?
Oh, right. Sorry.
Have you ever heard that before?
I'm not going to lie. I've heard it 1,000 times.
So
you have no idea how many different variations that I've heard.
I've said it to so many people and they don't even understand. Like, I'm just, like, making them look stupid. How did... Alright, are you ready for a new question?
You know what the really funny thing is?
What?
Well, actually, hold on. I'm not done. Because I just realized something really funny. So, when I saw this question, I expected the responses to be like the typical kind of generic answers of, oh no, it's all in your head. Oh no, don't worry. Your love is real. I promise, girl. You go, girl. You got this. He still loves you. I'm reading the actual responses this question got, and interestingly, they're all actually kind of taking the opposite side.
Wait, like which?
Literally, the top answer, the top answer to this question says, and I quote, and this is from Andrew S. Only has one purpose in a man's life. I mean, we don't hang out with them to talk about feelings, or just buy them stuff to see them smile, or listen to them because we give a crap. If they didn't have that one thing, we would never even speak to them. Just saying.
Wow.
Wow.
That's...
What a douchebag.
I mean, yeah. Nah, he's a gentleman.
Fighting with him?
He's a gentleman.
Yeah, he's a true gentleman.
Alright, you ready for this question?
Yeah, I'm ready to move on from that.
Alright, this is kind of a weird one. I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'll tell you what I have to say. What is a big scam, but is allowed?
A big scam, but is allowed. But by that, do you mean like something that you think should be illegal but isn't? Is that what you're trying to get at here?
Forget the allowed part. What is a? I don't know. I guess.
I feel like the question's a little bit vague.
Yeah, I don't even know how to break it down for you.
You think that's
like
maybe that's probably fair.
Yeah, I guess like something that should be illegal or changed. Not illegal, but changed, maybe fixed.
So I'm gonna try and go with an unconventional answer here. I could probably think of a few things.
Right.
I feel like the laws on pyramid schemes should be a little bit harsher. Like we all know that pyramid schemes are totally illegal, but the problem is many companies will subvert it simply by not calling themselves a pyramid scheme, but still doing it, but still being one anyway. And they'll just call it multi-level marketing, but it's the exact same thing. And all it does is prey off of poor high school and college students that don't know any better. And I've seen a lot of people, even people I personally know, fall into that. It's genuinely sad and pathetic.
Yeah,
I mean, not pathetic, because I can kind of like maybe pathetic's not the greatest word for it, because I can understand why if you're poor or maybe even desperate, it might be something that seems like a good idea. But it's so transparent that the companies doing it are just trying to prey on naive teenagers, and I just feel like the law on that should really clamp down a bit more to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't understand why people do it, or I don't understand why people fall for it.
Because the advertisements are just really. I don't want to say convincing, but I could see why they would be convincing to a lot of people, because
like
multi-level marketing it's a really interesting thing to sell, because the way it works is like you get to have people work under you. So in some sense, you're almost like someone's manager, and I think that's the appeal. Like you get to be a boss to some degree, while also working for a larger company that is supplying you with product. So people see it. So like if you don't know any better, you might see it as like, experienced with like entrepreneurship, even though in reality it doesn't work that way at all in practice.
Yeah, I've worked in entrepreneurship because I remember I had the firework business, and it is nothing like that at all. It is hard. It's a really hard thing to do, is sell stuff. I would have to say the biggest scam for me would have to be college, dude. Like, not as a whole, but like there's certain degrees that are just a complete scam, that you're just going and they're taking your money and you're not getting a job out of college.
I can get behind that. I think the mean uncaring part of me is almost tempted to say, oh, it's just natural selection. But I do think it is pretty crappy that you should be using college as like, learn things, get exposure to the world. You can learn a lot. But far too often, I know professors that like, even in quote good unquote major, I think professors that I've seen far too common have like really weird policies around, oh, purposely make it extraordinarily hard and stressful to weed people out. I think it's a horrible philosophy to use in any case.
Right.
I think taking a class, it should always be about the joy and fun and learn.
That's why.
Without giving you.
Yeah. That's why I'm super happy that I switched to computer science, because like last year I took all this anatomy and biology and stuff, and sure I learned it, but I didn't have any fun doing it. Now I'm having a lot of fun doing coding and stuff because I actually like it. I really like it. Like I've never had so much fun learning school.
But even in a computer science major, don't you still have gen eds to take? Don't you still have to take like related science classes and such, so that you need to know how you model this and that in the course?
Right, which yeah, you have to take some sort of like
It's not like you're just coding all day, right?
No, because you have to learn how to do algorithm development and like I don't know. I mean, you're right, and there's different. Yeah, you're right, but it is still super fun.
No, don't go back now. You sounded like you were going somewhere interesting with your point. Like you said you were having fun with it, but it must be pretty different then, right?
Well, see, alright, so I had to take an algorithm development class, and that class was not fun at all because it was not coding at all. I was just writing the prologues, and that was it. And I got graded off prologues, and that was all it was. And I didn't like that. It was pretty hard because I didn't know if it was right, because there was no way to test it if it was right every single time. I mean, it did help me learn how to write prologues, though, to be fair, but sometimes you gotta do the boring stuff to get to the fun stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. It's like so I'm a physics major. You announced your major, so I might as well reveal to our audience my major as well. And I will say that as much as I love physics, as fascinating as it is, interesting chapters, the most exciting chapters, is immediately preceded by the most boring ones, and the ones that are the most like sluggish to go through. But if you blow them off or slack off even a little bit, and you don't like understand an important concept, you're going to be completely lost for the rest of the topic, and you're not going to have any fun.
So what do you do
with
a physics
sounds
major? Sorry to interrupt, but what do you do with a physics major? Like, what kind of job would you have?
Well, physics is kind of a broad field. So, with physics, it's like you get mechanical engineering, but also electrical engineering, and on top of that, it's like theoretical science. Admittedly, the theoretical quantum stuff, that's the sort of stuff where that's mostly only really useful if you're going into research, you're planning to be a professor yourself. But with a lot of the rest of it, like the actual mechanics, electricity parts of it, and even some of the quantum computing stuff, a lot of it can go hand in hand with a lot of areas, such as computer science, like you said, which is why I have to take multiple programming classes. Or it goes with civil engineering, like designing bridges and things, or buildings and architecture.
Yeah.
The electrical engineering that goes into like power lines and inductors, and or my personal favorite type of thing is like things like windmills and whatnot, where you get to convert between, like back and forth between electrical energy and mechanical energy, which is something that young me always wanted to know. How do they do that? How is that possible? So on one hand, it's fun because it's like a lot of learning about how they do this or how this is done. And on the other hand, it's also a lot like it's useful because there's so many applications to it that if you're like me, where you don't really care what kind of job you end up going into, you have a lot of options.
Yeah.
So I could go into program we were talking about, but I could also go into something more broad in surveying, designing.
I'm pretty sure with a physics major, you can be a computer programmer.
Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of my top thoughts that I have floating in the back of my mind.
And you could work at like Lockheed.
That's yeah, actually. I won't say who specifically, but of mine works for a company that they design parts and they manufacture like code and machinery and engineering that Lockheed gets parts from.
That's pretty interesting.
Pretty cool.
I think I could.
You say so? What kind of?
What?
You said you think you could do something?
I think I would have a lot of fun as a programmer for a job. I like it. It's like solving puzzles.
I think of it the same way. My only problem with it with programming that I'm having right now is that so I've got basic programming experience from when I was younger, but I never got like super into it. And I think that's starting to backfire on me because as a physics major, the very first actual programming course that I've been required to take is this course on how programming can be applied to solving physics problems, which it turns out is actually insanely hard if you don't already have a background in programming already.
What kind of language are you using?
That's probably no joke. Python, which is the hardest language to learn, but the way we've been doing it, the challenges we've been getting it's no joke, probably the hardest class I'm taking right now. Because like a lot of the tasks we're given supposedly supposed to be not that hard.
Yeah.
Like insanely good.
So I like Python, but I also really like C++ because that's the only one I use. I've used HTML, or is that what it's called, HTML, and I've used Java before, but I'm really familiar with C++. Like I pretty much know everything. I could do most.
I don't know how much I would count HTML.
Well, I mean, that's
but yeah,
like,
C++ is pretty common.
Well, Python and C++ are the main ones that you use in like a workspace.
Yeah. I don't know C++ yet, but I do plan on learning it. If I want any hope of getting any sort of career in. I think especially though, programming is a pretty lucrative major. I knew someone who was a computer science major.
Right.
And they said that before they even finished their undergraduate degree, they already had like 6 really good job offers, like right out the gate.
Right, because computer science
so
jobs, you don't even need a degree.
Yeah, so it's like a job market must be pretty easy if you're in those sorts of fields.
That's why I kind of wanted to try it out, because I was like, oh, hey, well, I've always thought that getting a programming job would be super easy because there's always a high demand for it. So I was like, you know what? I might as well try it out, see if I like it. And I love it, dude. Sometimes it can be pretty stressful.
I'm hoping, like, what... Sometimes, like, how often... Like, what makes it stressful?
When I can't figure out the solution and, like, I try everything. But then, like, I'll wait...
It's not pleasant.
Listen, I've had times where I wake up at like 2 a.m. and then I think of the answer. I'm like, oh my god, that's it. And then I go type it in and it works.
Very lovely. No, but with this, what was the other point? Yeah, no, what you said about how it's really easy to get a job. I hope that stays true for long, because the way things are going at the moment, it seems like the economy is not doing not at its best right now for obvious reasons. And I'm hoping that things get graduate.
You don't need to go to work a computer job. You could stay at home.
Yeah, but you still need to get hired.
Right.
Still need to actually get hired.
And another thing is, I think that jobs will always have a high demand because technology is always advancing. So they're going to need people to be able to advance it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so let's hope that technology keeps advancing.
Well, I mean, it's not just... Let's hope it's just gonna happen. Like, it's inevitable that technology is gonna advance for the rest of eternity.
It's something that comes to mind a lot because that's kind of the obvious thing to say. Like technology is going to advance forever and ever and ever, and statistically, it's probably going to advance for centuries, maybe even millennia into the future.
Right.
But I keep having like this maybe paranoid feeling at the back of my mind, like what if we eventually, like, what if there's a limit to all the things that humans can discover about science?
You know what?
What if we eventually discover it all and there's nowhere further we can go?
It scares me. Because, like, what if that happens today? Like,
because there are a lot of things. Like, there are a lot of things that I'm sure we'll never be able to truly invent, like time travel, for instance.
I think that's
Apparently, there is a ceiling.
I think time travel.
I don't think so, because that would go against the laws of physics. It would go against the second law of thermodynamics.
I don't think it would. I mean, I guess, yeah, it goes against the current laws of physics, but I think the laws of physics are going to change.
The laws of physics are going to change. Like, the entire universe is acting on a random number generator.
No.
Any second now, the universe could just change.
I mean, like, think about it. We thought forever that the Earth was the only thing with gravity, right? And then, I don't know how many years ago, we find out that humans also have gravity.
I think that was in the 1600s.
Okay, no.
With Isaac Newton, apple fell on his head.
No, that was when gravity was discovered. I'm saying that humans have gravity.
No, Newton, when he came up with his universal law of gravitation, he had like the whole thing with like, mass attracts mass. That was kind of how the whole thing was formulated. The whole story with Isaac Newton is that he was thinking about how if gravity can act on things such as random like objects pulling it down, then what's to say that it can't act on things farther away like the moon and whatnot?
Yeah. Okay.
And that was when he came up with, well, evidently there is some force causing mass to attract other masses, and that was what kind of spread into his universal law of gravitation.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm simplifying things a little bit, but something that we've known for hundreds of years.
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like there is probably a ceiling to what humans will be able to know about the way the world, the way the universe works. I know we probably have not discovered that yet. I know we probably are nowhere close to it yet, but I'm sure that but I have a feeling that it's there.
Wait a minute, dude.
And I think a lot of that. What?
Did you know Joe Biden graduated from Syracuse University?
Oh, so we live near where one of the runner-ups for the presidential election happened.
Yeah, too bad he didn't win.
I bet Joe Biden. I know we talked about Trump already, but I know that I'm willing to bet that Joe Biden is also super honored to have lost to Kanye West.
Yeah. I think so.
You know, it's funny though, as a physics major, like it's kind of interesting because as I was growing up, I always saw science as like, oh wow, humans know so many of these things. We know all this, we know all that. It must have been super hard for us to figure all this out. Like we must know a lot. And then I started like actually learning about all the things we know about science and stuff. And I started actually like studying it and learning all about it. And the more I did that, the more I realized, wow, we humans, we actually have not actually done all that much. We've discovered a few laws about the way things work, and we've come up with some applications of that. But if you are at the point where you really understand what humanity's accomplishments in that actually are and how much they amount to, like, yeah, it's impressive what we've done with it. But in terms of like the scientific discovery, like it's a lot simpler than it looks at first glance. You take the time to really learn all this stuff. Yeah. I think that's part of where some of my little paranoia is coming from.
Yo, so what I want to do, so what day are you coming home? Like of this month?
The day before Thanksgiving, so the 25th.
And then you're staying home, right?
For the rest of this semester, yeah.
We should set up a studio in my basement, and then we could start filming like more like classic podcasts, like a more civilized podcast. I don't even know what the proper word is, like recreational podcast.
Are we not being civilized right now? Am I yelling at you and cursing?
No, we are, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like it'd be more organized. Like,
But
if
like,
if we
mean
had,
like
a
more
studio.
structure?
Yeah, like if we like sat at a table, like next to each other with a microphone or something.
Yeah, you mean? Red Letter Media?
Yeah. Like something more like.
Do you know who they are?
No, I don't. I don't really know anything. I like. I'm trying.
If we're gonna get into podcast business, you have to know all the big podcasts, like Red Letter Media, and the official podcast, and Joe Rogan.
I know the official podcast. I know Joe Rogan. I know H3H3 podcast.
I'm glad you know the official podcast. That's the most important.
Yeah. So some sort of setup like Joe Rogan has, like similar to that.
Where we're talking to each other around a table. I like that.
Or we could just be right next to each other. That'd probably be much easier. Then we don't have to have multiple cameras.
Yeah, sitting right next to each other around a table, like that's kind of how Red Letter Media does it, which I think is kind of what you're getting at, which I think is a good.
Yeah, so kind of like a news media sort of like structure.
But are we talking about the news? Because so far we talked about Kanye West winning the election, and that's it.
Yeah, we talked about the important stuff.
Pretty good news right there. Yeah, the important stuff, but what other angles can we cover here?
I don't know. We could keep talking about like computer programming.
No, but we could do that, but we'll lose all the listeners that are not into computer programming.
Well, I mean, if we have
like if we go all in on a very niche topic like that, then the people who aren't interested in that tune out, and it becomes boring to listen to.
I know.
If you don't know everything about programming,
yeah, I also think
you're not gonna understand it or be invested.
I think we should film a lot of videos too, like not even just podcasts. Like this is just talking basically with like different like topics and stuff. But I think we should do like, you know how we did. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I think we should do things like that, but not as like a podcast standpoint, as just like a video standpoint, and then we can have variety.
Just random silly little videos.
Yeah, but like
the tetherball thing we did.
I'm not trying to do crazy stuff like that. I mean, maybe like a little bit, but I'm thinking like we just do fun stuff like on like the computer, like we do challenges on the computer or something like that.
I think that's fair, but I think we'll need to brainstorm the ideas for that at some point. But I think that sounds like
100%. I'm just like saying like we should do different stuff. Maybe see who can like count to 100 faster. What are the 100? I won.
Serious? Well, that's the best idea you came up with? Well, never mind. I'm not that enthusiastic for this anymore then. What?
We should do a 24-hour live stream.
I don't think we should.
Yeah. I would so do it.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's make a deal, and I will stand by this deal. I'm a man of my word, so I'll do it. I will stand by this right now. I'm laying it all out for you. Gotcha. I will do a 24-hour podcast, a 24-hour podcast episode with you. If we make it to the point where this podcast we're doing, this channel we have is so big that I don't need to work anymore.
That'll never happen.
Then I guess it's not going to happen.
There's literally nothing we can do.
For our podcast. A 24-hour podcast sounds like a fun and cool idea, but when you're older than we are, or when you're our age, Like, we don't have a lot of time. We can't afford wasting a lot of time unless it's something we're doing for a living. So if we can do random little fun stuff like this for a living, then yeah, absolutely, I'd love to do something like that. But I don't think my schedule would ever allow that, especially with my major and the jobs and all that.
I think
So yeah, let's keep being funny. Let's keep uploading videos.
yeah, I think we just got to be consistent. That's all it is.
If we open a Patreon and we can get like thousands of dollars a month through there, we could totally something like that, something crazy, something bold,
We could
something
drop
no
out of
one has ever
college.
thought to do before. Hell yeah! So if our channel keeps growing at a slow rate,
No, I think
then we'll probably be done with college long before that happens.
I think if we had 1 million subscribers and we're making a good source of income off YouTube, I would still want to finish college and actually get a job. Just because, like, that's just, I don't know. That's just something I want to be, like, successful with.
That's true. I understand that completely. I know some people who... There's a certain amount of pride that comes with being successful both online and in real life. I do understand the drive.
I'd say I'm pretty
Probably
successful
would.
online. I just had a TikTok that got 30,000 views.
You did?
Yep.
I don't use TikTok much. I occasionally check it just for yours because you actually make some pretty funny things.
Like, I think, like, if
I didn't know you were that famous.
Yeah, so if I keep uploading on there and, like, I get a good amount of views and likes and stuff. I think if I keep uploading, maybe I'll grow on there. And if I get 1 million followers, which I'm not gonna get 1 million followers, maybe 10,000 or 20,000 followers. I think that's reasonable.
That's still good though. Like you gotta, if you get TikToks, if you're getting TikToks that are getting thousands of views, and you have a sizable audience, like just say something like, "Hey, check out this YouTube channel I do with my buddies,"
That's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
link it to there, and then we'll get more exposure there.
Exactly.
It'd be the perfect outlet.
Exactly.
And now I have
TikTok's
my own
easy.
side project.
TikTok's the easiest platform.
I
to
have my
blow up
own.
on.
Is it really? Because if so, then I have to do it myself.
That's why I use it. Like, I upload YouTube videos and they get like 10 to 100 views, and I upload TikToks and they all get over a couple hundred.
Now, I have my own side projects. Like I have a YouTube channel where I explain physics problems and math problems. And I don't have too large of a following there yet, but I am growing at a pretty decent pace. I feel like that's something I could get some traction on, where I could say, "Hey, by the way, if you want something less serious, here's some silly stuff I do with a friend,"
Right.
and that'd be neat.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to eventually
Yeah, no, I do.
change my entire YouTube channel because the name is Joey's Problem. I don't even know how to work it.
How to work it?
Like, change it.
If it's in the YouTube URL, like you can't change it unless you get like YouTube partnered,
Oh.
which happens when you get like 4,000 subscribers, I think. Or I think that's what first makes you eligible. But the problem is it's hard to set that up unless you have a sizable audience. But I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I really don't think when I was younger, when I first had like young naive dreams of I'm gonna be YouTube famous one day. I thought that having a name like really mattered super hard. But what I've found from seeing the amount of channels that blow up nowadays, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. Like you mentioned the official podcast earlier. That guy Penguin Z0 is the
Dude, that
name of
guy's
the channel, and it
hilarious.
has nothing to do with what we do.
Dude, I love
Yeah, no,
that.
yeah, but he is hilarious.
Wait, you watch him?
He is hilarious. But I do. But my point is though, it's possible to do well, even if your name is just something kind of stupid and random. Because nowadays, it's not really all that much about the branding anymore, as long as you can put out a few videos that gets your name, no matter what that name is.
Yeah, so I agree and disagree on that. I think that it looks like people with obscure names blow up more just because there's so many people that are famous on YouTube. But I think you're right, though. It
Maybe-
doesn't matter.
yeah. Let's not worry about that right now. For now, what we should focus on for now. You know, what we should really focus on more than anything else.
What?
Having fun, having a good time, staying true to ourselves, doing the things we love doing.
Exactly. If you see, wait, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
At the top of the world, President of the United States.
I think you're too young.
With Kanye as my vice president. With Kanye West as my VP.
Right. That'd be. I actually think he could win the election in 2024.
Actually, it's funny. That's something that I've actually really been thinking about. And at first, the idea was kind of ridiculous to me. Like, of course not. But I thought about it for a bit, and I realized he's a big artist.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to his music. So and a lot of people are stupid. So if he really genuinely pushed for it, like if he released hit songs about it, like vote Kanye 2020, and a lot of people really picked up on it, he actually would kind of have a pretty decent chance if he really knew what he was doing. I don't know if he would be that smart about it, but that would be pretty cool if he did manage to put himself out there in just the right way, just the right notes with people.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out how many votes he got. I'm kind of curious. I'm looking it up, but I don't see it anywhere. Dang. Why doesn't it say? He got 60,000. So, I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot of people that voted for Kanye West. He got 0.3% of the total vote. Or wait, no, that's wrong. That's just one state. Could you, dude, if he can get 60,000 votes now, imagine if he ran like a real campaign. That's crazy.
You know what, actually? What? So he was running with Kim Kardashian because she would be the first lady if he was president. I feel like they should flip it. I think Kim Kardashian should run for president, and he would be the first lady. Because Kanye West is a famous name. I feel like Kim Kardashian, 10 times. I feel like if she ran for president, people would genuinely be interested in voting for that.
Dude, you know how there's... Alright, so there's the Republican Party, there's the Democratic Party. Do you know what Kanye's party is? He called it the birthday party.
Really? Did he actually call it that?
Yes. He's the birthday party candidate.
I wish he won.
I mean, that's the third party system at its finest.
All right, if we ran for president, what would we call our party? What would that be?
The birthday party, dude.
Yeah, that's unoriginal now that he took it. The House Party?
No.
House Representatives?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I really don't know.
What would our slogan be?
Well, Manifest Destiny. That's the party we're running for.
Manifest Destiny. We're going to expand out even further. We're going to get more land.
Yeah, we're going to just create it. We're going to cancel climate change.
Here's a message to our audience, the audience of the Sociopath podcast, the Sociopodcast. Sociopodcast.
Yo, that's actually kind of good. Maybe we could change
there's a lot of uncertainty happening right now. We are aware of that, especially with the election and all the recounts going on right now. So we just want to make this extremely clear. We want this to go to Supreme Court. want you to vote for us. Vote for us of the birthday party by Kanye West of the Sociopath podcast, so that Joey Chop and maybe you edit that if you want last names in there, but Joey and Kevin will be president together. And we will rule the world with our witty quips, humor, answering Yahoo Answers questions, 5th grade questions.
I don't understand how he didn't
vote for us in the 2024 election, and also petition your senators in right now, if it's possible. But
what is the age limit for presidents?
I think it's like 35 something to be older than 30 something.
Yeah, but is there an age limit for how old you can be?
Oh. The age limit is however old you can be before you die of old age.
Yeah, fair enough. Dude, I wonder, do you think Obama could have been the vice president for like 8 more years? I wonder if that's a thing.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought, actually. I feel like if someone did that, it would be seen as like a super corrupt power move. Like Trump goes on for a second term. All right, now I'm going to be someone else's vice president, and they're going to give me all the power and make me let me do all the speeches. Like, I'm still controlling the government.
I do think that Trump will run again in 2024, but he's not going to beat Kanye. There's just no way.
No, you can't beat Kanye. He came close to winning this time.
Yeah. All right, here's a fun question for you that I don't think you know the answer to.
It would be amazing. You know what would be so amazing right now, actually? So there have been tons of, like, debates and arguments about the recount that they're doing of all the votes. Is this really going to change anything? Will it really turn the tides of the election? What will this do? What will it do? All the Democrats are like, no, it's not going to change anything. It's set in stone. Biden's the winner. And all the Republicans are like, no, it could totally change something. Look at the 2000 election. It could change. You're just stupid, in denial. Imagine if they do the recount, somehow by some absolute miracle, every state voted for Kanye. That'd be the ultimate plot twist.
And then Biden and Trump make out, and then they go live on an island together.
Yes, be great. They hate each other, but they would like end up uniting each other. End up uniting with each other under their unanimous hatred.
Right. You want to know something
Kanye
crazy
West.
about the recount, though? It costs $3 million to do a recount. Over 3.
Wait, why? It was something. Oh, right. We don't have.
I think the people counting.
I guess I gotta pay the.
The people that count the votes need to learn how to code. It'd just be so much easier. Like.
No, I was reading about that earlier today, actually. So this isn't the first time a recount happened, of course.
Well,
in 2000, a recount was how they decided the election between Bush and Gore.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, actually, because apparently, Republicans that looked back at that incident have suggested that if they did the recount a little bit more efficiently, it's possible that Gore should have been the true winner of that election. But since all the votes are now through physical mail-in ballot, automated programming, like programming something, wouldn't solve it this time around, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
Because if Trump's really trying to do a recount of every state, it could genuinely take a long time before this election is officially settled, which is a bad thing because he's refusing to do a concession speech until that happens.
Right.
And he's been throwing a massive tantrum on his Twitter saying, I won the election by a huge margin. I will never accept defeat. The only way I'm leaving the White House is if I'm dragged out, kicked, and screaming. And it's like, dude, you're not making yourself look good.
Alright, you want to know something crazy, though? Have you heard, like, conservative people be like, oh, the election's rigged, like, they're definitely doing something fishy? You've heard people say that, right?
It wasn't. It wasn't rigged.
All right,
There's
listen.
no evidence of voter fraud.
Listen, I don't think there was voter fraud, but it is definitely rigged every single year. There's definitely something fishy going on. But you know what's crazy about them saying that? Trump literally got impeached for, like, he literally asked foreign countries to interfere in the 2016 election. He admitted to it too. You can read the what is it called? The credentials, the thing of the impeachment. I don't. Do you know what it's called?
No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I didn't know he admitted to fraud or something. Nor do I know what you're talking about fishy contact, fishy things with the elections being rigged every year. I'm not really sure what you mean.
Well, they know who's gonna win before election day, right? They know a couple weeks before, right? Usually.
How would they know that? You mean like from the polls?
Well, not even just the polls, but bigger power knows who's gonna win. That's why the market almost never crashes when there's a new president, because they are prepared for whoever president is.
I don't think that's true, actually. I was reading earlier today that a lot of stocks are for some people because of wrong predictions of who would win.
No, that's wrong. The stock market has gone up because Joe Biden won. So they were prepared for it,
Okay.
which is interesting.
The polls are kind of what sheds light on that. Like, the polls are kind of right that Biden would win.
Right. Well, I thought Biden was going to win just because, like, I don't know. There's just a lot of things, obviously. It was pretty close, though.
I thought Biden would win, but only because
COVID.
I thought Biden would win, but only because Alan Lichtman, a professor guy who has been accurately predicting the election for 30 years, who's been right every time, he said, yeah, Biden's going to win. And he was 100% right.
The only reason he won, like, if COVID
He came up with this complex...
If COVID didn't happen, Joe Biden would not have won.
Are you sure?
100%. That was
Well, he wasn't doing, like,
that was
job
their main
aside from that.
argument. That was their main argument at all the debates. They were like, he has done nothing. 200,000 Americans have died. And honestly, I don't think it's Trump's fault. I don't like Trump, but you can't blame him for that. Every country in the world is suffering.
He could have handled it better, though. Like, he should have shut down the country much sooner than he did.
He tried
and he could have
to,
also
but
been
they
a lot
called
more
him
tactful
racist.
about it.
They called him xenophobic and racist for closing down the airports to China.
He was called racist because he was only targeting China, which it was at that point. It was spread so far; it was coming from more places than just that.
But it was known that
That's why he was called racist, because the entire time he was constantly going up on the news and saying, "Oh, this is such a horrible virus. You know, the China virus, the virus that came from China. Oh, the Kung flu." He always has been looking for every opportunity to attack China specifically, even though to decrease the virus.
No, I know.
Go at it from all fronts.
But you also got to understand that there's no other country that has recovered better than our country. Besides China, actually.
Not really true, though, because I know some people from other countries in Europe, and they say that the virus has been basically non-existent for half a year now.
I'm talking major countries. I'm not talking, like, I don't even know, like, little countries. Obviously, those ones.
I
like,
also am talking major countries. I'm thinking of, I know people from Germany even saying things like that.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there are Americans
Someone from
in Florida that think the same thing. Like, people in Florida, Texas, COVID doesn't exist there. But it does.
Well, I don't know all the nuances of the situation myself. I will admit fully.
Well, my dad worked.
But yeah, but whatever the case may be, whether or not he would have won, with or without, that's all just up to speculation now.
No,
the point is,
I'm 100% certain. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, well, Well, you could be right. You very well could be right about that, especially since you are right about the way the debates have gone. So I don't know where they would have targeted the debates if the COVID had not happened.
That's just why I don't think Joe Biden should be president. Is because there was no good argument for him. His best argument was COVID. That's literally it.
His best argument was literally, "I am not Trump. Vote for me because I am not as bad as Trump."
Right. Which.
And it worked.
Right. Which is
It hit Trump
really
so much.
stupid. I think.
I firmly believe that no one voted for Biden, voting against Trump.
No, there's definitely people that like Biden. But I do like the fact that he's going to tax the rich. I feel like that is a really good thing. But I understand why people don't like that. Because it's going to make gas prices like double. But I do think it is a good thing. And we can get healthcare, hopefully, we can get on a start to free healthcare. We're the only major country in the world without free healthcare. Did you know that?
I did know that.
That's so.
I think it's ridiculous. Great.
Like, obviously, like, having free healthcare has its ups and downs, but, like, well, it doesn't make any sense. That's one of the most ridiculous things, I think. Like, especially like Medicare and like Medicaid. Like, how could you
earlier this year, there was a big debate about Medicare for all and whether or not we should do that. And people kept arguing against it being too expensive or something.
It's not. What the heck? It's not even that expensive. Once you give it, it's actually less expensive to have free healthcare. Than it costs so much more to not have free healthcare. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, like they're saying that's expensive for the businesses because they have to pay all the doctors for the money they're not getting from customers anymore.
Well, doctors get paid by the government, not by businesses.
Exactly, and that's why that's what tax the rich comes.
Right.
I think that a Biden presidency might actually get us free Medicare for all.
Which I don't think so. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, so I'm for it.
You're not going to be able to do that in 4 years. Just for your information, like the Medicare Act came in 1965.
I got that, but I think it
was
that,
Lyndon
but
B.
I think
Johnson.
it would be a start.
Right, Lyndon B. Johnson did it. I don't know how long it took him. I'm pretty sure he did it in 1 year. Got the Medicare Act out, right? I do think it is possible, but I don't think Joe Biden is the one to get it done.
Now, I don't know. A lot of people are theorizing Joe Biden is going to step down pretty quickly and just say that and let Kamala Harris be the president.
Well, that just wouldn't be the
and supposedly that is the real Democratic plan. I don't know if that's true. I doubt it.
I think that's just theories on Fox News.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot from Republicans. It's a little strange, but I watched Joe Biden's little victory speech this evening, and he seems pretty enthusiastic. He definitely seems like he's got some. He definitely seems a lot more respectful and easier to listen to than Trump, but it's unclear whether or not he has. It's unclear what his specific plan is.
Right. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, Kevin. I'm going to ask you a list of questions, okay? I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, okay? Are you going to answer all of them? Are you ready?
I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
Should the government increase spending on public transportation?
Like it would be cheaper for us?
It would be, like, free. Like, Canada, like, buses are free in Canada.
Absolutely.
You think yes, they should? Okay. How important?
If it means I get free buses,
How important is this to you?
um,
On a scale
I
of one to
never
five.
never occurred to me until you mentioned it.
1 to 5. How important is this to you?
Free.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's the next question: should the president be able to authorize military force against Al Qaeda without congressional approval?
I don't see why he should be. No, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. If Congress isn't approving it, then there must be a reason for it.
All right. So you say no.
Well, by the way, keep in mind for those listening, I'm not in politics, so all these questions so far, both of them have been questions where I'm not exactly necessarily super informed.
Right. These are just
Possible I
opinions.
could try opinion and learn more about the issue.
These are all just opinions. All right. How important is this to you? 1 to 5.
3.
3. Okay.
Do we really need the how important is this to you thing?
It's part of it. Okay.
It feels a little irrelevant.
You'll understand at the end when you get the results. Okay. Should the U.S. assassinate suspected terrorists in foreign countries?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna say, if it is it only a yes or no question?
It says other stances.
Because I feel like I'm gonna say no, but only if
So I think you should say
we have a
other
reason to
stances.
believe they're gonna do it.
So your other stances then.
I have a reason to believe they will attack the U.S. soon. Yeah, but in most cases, I'm gonna say no.
So the other stances include no, capture, interrogate, and imprison them instead. Or no, they should be captured and given a fair trial. Or read more stances submitted. Or wait, yes, but only if there is undeniable evidence they are planning to attack our country.
That one.
Okay. How important is this to you? 1 to 5.
4.
Yeah. Okay. Should the federal government pay for tuition at four-year colleges and universities?
Hell yeah, and 5.
All right. Do you support increasing taxes for the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans?
For student loans, yes, and 5.
All right. Should critical race theory be taught in K through 12 education?
Critical race theory. Isn't that the thing that says that you're not allowed to be white, or like if you're white, you have to feel guilty about it?
Dude, it's not exactly like that. No, it's just like
I'm trying to refresh my memory on what critical race really is.
it's just like understanding what other people of color go through that you don't really know about. Like you think like, oh,
In that case,
equal.
then yes.
Everyone is equal. We all have the same rights, but you know, like it's deeper than that. Right?
In that case, yeah. In that case, yeah, definitely. 5.
How important is this to you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 5. So that's something that kids should be understanding.
Okay. Should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases?
I would say so. Yeah, I think that should be a requirement.
I would have to say, like, yeah, I'm gonna give you yes because that's your opinion, but I would have to say maybe. I feel like there should be some sort of choice in between that, like.
Why should there be a choice though? Like if it could lead to the kid's death.
Because what if like the vaccines cause other problems in the future?
Is there evidence to believe that they do?
I'm not exactly sure, but I do think people should be able to choose.
Because I have looked into the whole vaccine thing before, and it seems like most people's concerns about them are pretty ill-founded.
I'm pretty sure there is proof that they have caused asthma.
I feel like that's like a small thing though. Like, do I want to get asthma, or do I want to make sure that I'll never get polio and die?
Right.
I feel like I'm with the asthma.
How important is this to you?
5, just because I really do think that the vaccines should be required.
I do think that
Again,
too.
I've been reading. No, I've heard about, like, there's so many conspiracy theorists and anti-vaxxers that have been like pushing for no vaccines. That has literally been
It doesn't
like
like that
tons
doesn't
of
make sense
kids
to
to
me.
die.
Like, I'll take all my
What
vaccines
doesn't
and
make sense?
stuff, but like if a coronavirus vaccine comes out and someone doesn't want to take it, I don't think you should force someone to take it.
There's a good reason why they shouldn't, if it's going to save people's lives and prevent them from spreading it around.
No, like I agree, but I just think that forcing someone to take it is just wrong. I think everyone should take it, but I think you can't force someone to. Do you
All right,
support?
so I think I understand.
Right.
So you think everyone should do it, but you think that adding the extra layer of government mandatory
Right. I think
makes it a little bit
citizens
too
should have
extreme.
freedom. Right. All right. Here's the next question. Do you
I'm
support?
just concerned.
Go.
I'm just with that. Hold on, with that last one, I get what you're saying. I really do. Like, I feel like that would be nice from a psychological perspective. But the problem I have with that is that I'm worried that a lot of conspiracy theorists or people who don't believe COVID is a thing just avoid it entirely, and it will end up remaining an issue for far longer than it needs to be.
Well, it won't.
And that's the sort of
If
thing that I
everyone
really.
else takes the vaccine, then you won't get it.
All right. All right. I guess.
I mean, you still can get it. Like, I don't. Well, I don't know, obviously, but the flu vaccine, like, obviously, it doesn't always work, but it's like 98% or something like that. All right, next question. Do you support the use of nuclear energy?
Like nuclear power plants?
Yeah.
Because use it for a lot of stuff, but I guess it's hurting the environment or something. The other options for this.
It says yes, but with public subsidy. Yes, and nationalize the industry. Yes, as long as there is no public subsidy. Yes, temporarily, while we increase investment into cleaner, renewable alternatives. No, we should invest in cleaner alternatives such as wind, hydroelectric, thorium, and geothermal.
I like the one that said yes, but in the meantime invest.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. All right, how important is this to you?
To
Yeah.
it's not really something I think about a lot.
Should producers be required to label genetically engineered foods?
I mean,
Like a
I
GMO?
don't know.
Should they be required to label
I
it as
honestly
GMO?
I honestly don't know because do genetically engineered foods come with some drawback to them? Hurt me if I eat one?
I'm pretty sure that there's a possibility. I don't believe in it. I think there's a lot of theories of it having problems, but I think
All right, well, you
GMOs
know
are
what?
a good thing.
All right, well, I'm gonna say yes, simply because I feel like it's foods are required to label the ingredient. So might as well add that in too if it had something to do with the creation of the food. Seems like a relevant detail,
How important is this to you?
but I'm gonna say a one.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
How important it is.
I feel like it's stupid.
I don't really care.
Should the U.S. build a wall along the southern border?
Absolutely not.
See, I'm a little indifferent on that. I, because I do understand that it is very hard for a lot of people to gain citizenship and get into this country. So they have to be able to get in because obviously there's probably something worse going on why they have to come to this country to make money and live. I wish it was easier for them to gain citizenship. That's what I think should happen, but it's not possible. But
I don't think building a wall is gonna work though. You know that most illegal immigrants, or I don't know if it's most. I don't have the statistics off the top of my head. I could just make one up off the top of my head, like you said.
Right.
No, but I don't know the exact statistics, but I know that a lot of illegal Mexican immigrants are coming by plane. or coming through underground tunnels. I don't think that building a wall is going to stop most of them.
Right.
In fact, I remember seeing an interesting video a long time ago about how, if anything, it's more likely to just keep the immigrants in. Because if there are immigrants that already made it to the U.S., well, guess what? Building a wall there just prevented them from leaving.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. Alright, so, no. Alright, how important is this to you?
2, again, it's not really something I care all that much about. Because I know it's not going to happen.
Should illegal immigrants have access to government subsidies healthcare?
Yes. I know that a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but I'm going to say yes, just feel like they should have a right to it as well.
You know, I do agree with you, because I think we should be able to help people out. I don't think we should be selfish. How important is that to you?
4. More questions. How many more are these?
We're halfway done.
Halfway?
I think. I don't know. Should undocumented immigrants be offered in-state tuition rates in public colleges within their residing state?
100% is college-related. 5.
Right. All right. How important is this to you?
5.
Okay. If we move faster, it'll get done, but we keep talking about it. Should the Electoral College be abolished? Hello?
That's the hard one. What are the other stances?
Yes, and switch to a ranked voting system. Yes, and switch to a representative democracy, popular vote system. No, but the balance of votes by population should be updated. No, the Electoral College ensures representation of the whole country instead of the major cities. No, but reforms so that votes are distributed proportionally instead of the current winner-take-all system.
Yeah, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, it's a
But I think it should be reformed.
Okay, so no, but you think it should be reformed. So it should be updated. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't feel too strongly about it, so
1. Okay, fair enough. Should foreigners currently residing in the United States have the right to vote?
foreigners? I mean, if they're foreign, then, we can't have laws about that for a reason if they don't really understand the
Right.
nuances of the country so well. So I'm just going to say no.
So here's my thought on that. Like, what if, 10 million Russians just came to America just to vote for, a week, and then they just left?
Yeah.
Alright, how important is this to you?
It would be a weird thing to allow. 2.
Yeah. Should a photo ID be required to vote?
No.
What? Oh, yeah.
Well,
I guess
I
that
mean,
makes sense.
it feels pointless to me because we already have a pretty good system in place to prevent double voting.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem necessary to me.
Alright, how important is that to you?
1.
What is your stance on abortion?
That's the one that everyone hates each other for. I'm going to say abortion should be illegal.
No.
And while I understand...
The answers are pro-life and pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
Okay, but there's also...
I understand why people are against... I understand why there are people who are against abortion, but the problem is that both sides of the argument, it's a moral issue of morals.
Listen.
So whenever there's an issue of morals,
you're right.
Always go to the side that does not want to take away rights. So I'm going to say, so people should have the choice.
You want to know something crazy, though? The people that are pro-life are also pro-death penalty. How does that make any sense?
I don't want to make a broad generalization like that, because it's possible that it doesn't apply to all of them. It's possible that there are some people who are pro-life that also are anti-death penalty, and I don't want to invalidate the feelings of those people.
True. How important is it
to you? I'm going to say 5.
Yeah. All
I
right.
really don't like it when people advocate for taking away others' rights.
All right. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood?
Yes, absolutely. 5.
Yeah, same. Um, should a business be able to deny service to a customer if the request conflicts with the owner's religious beliefs?
Should it read that one again?
Should a business be able to deny service to a customer if the request conflicts with the owner's religious beliefs?
So, as crappy as it sounds, as awful as it sounds, I'm gonna say yes, because even though if they do that, they're a douchebag, 100%. But I
Right.
still think though that I don't want to set the precedent that the government controls how people are running their business. I feel like that would be a bad precedent to set.
So you're saying yes?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
How
They,
important?
they, they they should be allowed to do that, even though it's not good
How
for them to
important?
do that. A 4.
Okay. Should the government increase environmental regulations to prevent climate change?
Yeah,
How important?
5.
Should the U.S. withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement?
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs to that.
I I
Other
would say no.
stances.
I would say no. The other stances are yes until other countries are held to
What
the
is the
same standards. Um
what does the Paris climate thing say again? Like, what is that? What actually is that?
um
I
so
forget. I forget it. I know it's something
so
important.
it's between the United Nations to like it's a convention on climate change dealing with greenhouse gases emissions and adapt I don't know.
So I don't know a lot about it, but it sounds good to me. So I'm gonna
It,
say we
it
should stay in it.
its aim is to strengthen the global response to the threat of climate change.
All right, sounds good then.
So
For it.
you're all right. How important?
4, or actually, yeah, 3.
3. Okay. Should disposable products such as plastic cups, plates, and cutlery that contain less than 50% of biodegradable material be banned?
I would say no. I feel like there are far greater concerns about environmental and protecting the environment
How
than
important?
plastic straws and plates.
How important?
3.
All right, let's start moving fast
3.
so we can get this done. Should funding for local
Okay.
police departments be redirected to social and community-based programs?
Yes. 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 5.
Okay.
You said you want to go faster, so I'm going
All
faster
right.
now.
Should convicted criminals have the right to vote?
Ooh. Ooh.
Now let me just
Yes.
tell you,
4.
whoever the president is has some sort of say in what happens to the people in the prisons.
All right. Yeah. True. Yes. 4.
Do you support mandatory minimum prison sentences for people charged with drug possession?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. No. 5.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that is, I understand people make a mistake, like they get set up, or you're stuck in a family where you have to, they are forcing you to move drugs, like. So I guess
If
depending
someone
on the
chooses,
situation.
if someone chooses to use a drug, they're not hurting anyone that way. It's a victimless crime. There shouldn't be a mandatory minimum for that.
All right, should the U.S. raise taxes on the rich?
Yeah.
5.
4.
Okay.
I'm not really. I don't really have a very strong conviction about that. I think it's something that they should do, but I don't care.
Should the government raise the federal minimum wage?
Sure. Yeah. 3.
3. Okay. Should welfare recipients be tested for drugs?
I'm gonna say no because this is an issue that I've actually looked into before, and apparently the drug tests they give to welfare recipients really don't help at all.
Yeah. All right. What? How important?
3.
Should the federal government require people to wear face masks in public during the COVID pandemic?
Yes.
Okay. How important?
4. 4.
I can agree on that. I don't think like outside though. I think people don't need to wear them outside. Like if you're walking at a park or something.
I mean, it kind of goes back to what we were saying about vaccinations. Like, if it's going to prevent someone else from potentially getting sick with it,
Right.
absolutely wear the mask. But I do think some people go a little too far with it.
Correct.
Like, I think that someone who is walking by themselves on the street shouldn't need to wear their mask necessarily. And I know that some people with severe asthma or something need special clearance to not wear masks because otherwise they literally can't breathe.
Yeah, I'm thinking
But
I'm gonna.
I think there's nuance involved.
Listen to this. This is my plan. I'm gonna not wear a mask in a store, and then someone's gonna be like, "Hey, you need to wear a mask." I'll be like, "Well, I have health conditions," and then they'll be like, "Oh, what health conditions?" And then I'm gonna say coronavirus. All right, next question. Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act?
That's another thing where I really don't know all the ins and outs of it, but just as a tentative answer, I'll say yes.
Okay. How important?
3.
Oh. The heck?
Is that it?
No, there's a couple more. All right. Should the federal government increase funding of healthcare for low-income individuals?
You know what? Yeah, sure.
How important?
3.
Okay. Should the government increase or decrease military spending?
I'm gonna say decrease.
Yeah, I can.
We already
agree
have the
with that.
largest military in the world.
How important?
3.
I can agree because like we have all these tanks and stuff, and all our tax money goes to it, and they never use them. Should the U.S. accept refugees from Syria?
Sure, yeah. Many countries offer asylum, and I think even we do. I don't see why we shouldn't help Syrian refugees.
How important is this to you?
4.
Should foreign terrorism suspects be given constitutional rights?
Yeah, the whole point of the Constitution is that it's for everyone, right? 5.
Okay. Should there be more restrictions on the current process of purchasing a gun?
Yes. 5. 'Cause I don't want shootings to happen.
All right. Well, you're gonna love the next question. Should teachers be allowed to carry guns at school?
No, because teachers are trained to teach, not to hold guns and fire them.
I'm gonna say 5 for that, obviously. Should victims of gun violence be allowed to sue firearm dealers and manufacturers?
That's a tough one because I don't really know who's at fault for it. If it's the manufacturers or the dealers.
Both.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yeah. Increased liability.
How important?
4.
Okay, I think
The only reason why it's not a 5 is because I don't know every detail about the economics of the gun market.
Okay, so are you ready for? There's 2 more questions. So
Okay.
whom would I'm gonna have to name off a bunch of people, okay, and you're gonna have to tell me yes to whichever one you think should be. All right, whom would you most like to run for president in 2024? First one, Pete Buttigieg. Second one,
No.
Mike Pence. Third one,
No.
Michelle Obama.
Sure, yeah.
Kamala Harris.
I guess, yeah.
Elon
She's gonna
Musk.
be now anyway.
Elon Musk.
Hell yeah. Hell
Dwayne-
yeah.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yes. That's the best option.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro.
yeah, completely.
Andrew Yang.
Yes.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC.
No idea who that is.
Yes, you do. You should know
Who
who
is she?
that is. She's the one. She played Among Us.
Huh?
I don't. I don't know. I feel like you should know who that is. All right. Well, who do you think is the best one out of all their
Is
names?
is she a YouTuber? Is that a YouTuber?
No, she's part of the Senate, I think.
What does she have to do with Among Us?
She live streamed Among Us with like PewDiePie and everyone.
Well, it sounds like she's awesome. Yeah.
All right. So who is the best out of all those people I named?
Well, I'm really disappointed that Kanye West, but I think the best one was Dwayne Johnson.
Are you being serious? Like,
Who would be the best?
who would be the best?
I guess
president?
my serious answer would be. I guess my serious answer would be Bernie.
Would be who?
Seems to have a good head and shoulder.
Who?
Bernie Sanders.
Oh, not Elon Musk.
Sanders.
Yeah, I would say so too.
No.
Elon Musk might be my second answer because he's a really smart and he knows how to advance the country. All right, which qualities are most important to you see in a candidate? Oh, wait, you can check multiple of these. Okay. So every single I'm gonna say one and then you say yes or no. I'm gonna click it. Okay. Which quality?
Right.
Which qualities are more important to you in a candidate? Diplomacy,
Yeah.
determination,
Yeah.
honesty,
Yes.
transparency,
Yeah. Absolutely.
vision,
Yeah.
common sense,
I mean, yeah.
consistency.
No, not necessarily. I don't think so.
Yeah, integrity,
Yeah.
intelligence,
If you have good advisors, but still think it's important.
so no.
No. I'd say check that one off. Say yes for that one.
Okay, morality,
Intelligence is important. Morality. That's tricky because morality is always debatable and it's completely subjective.
so no. Okay,
If someone has strong morals, then they tend to be self-righteous about them.
all
I'm gonna
right.
say no for that.
Commitment,
Yeah. That kind of goes hand in hand with determination.
leadership,
Yeah.
electability,
Electability?
right.
Sure. I guess they need to get into it anyway.
Effectiveness.
Yes.
All right, now let's see your results.
I'm very curious to see what we just did all that for, because I think we've literally been doing just that one bit for a half hour now.
It's analyzing. It's gonna.
Imagine if the page breaks and to do that.
I'm not doing that again. I'll do it for myself, but I'm not doing yours again. You could do it yourself. I got to do this for school one
Well,
time.
I don't know. I still don't know what that is.
It's supposed to tell you like who you should vote for based on what you believe in. I can't believe you don't know who AOC is, dude. I love her.
Never heard of it.
You make me sick.
If it's a gamer thing, then
No,
I don't know anything. But I don't follow video games.
It's not a gamer thing. She's a congresswoman.
Yeah, who plays Among Us and live streams with PewDiePie?
One time. All right.
You made it sound like that was a selling point for her.
You're never gonna believe this. Your number one. All right, so your number one person is Donald Trump.
All right,
I'm kidding. No, it's Howie Hawkins.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
I noticed he only got a few more votes than Kanye. So
And then your second one is Joe
he got
Biden.
more votes. I don't know much about Howie Hawkins. What does he believe in?
I don't know. And it says for your ballot, it says Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is your number one. For the issues that you
Oh, that's
believe in.
amazing. Well, I'm going to have to look up those two people, Howie Hawkins and the other one.
Howie Hawkins is irrelevant.
And I'm going to learn about them because...
Howie Hawkins.
Well, the other one.
AOC, I think you should know who that is.
Well, I'm going to find out who AOC is. I'm not going to do it today because it is 2:30 a.m. and I am extremely tired. So I think I'm ready to call it a night.
Nope.
And go to bed for the day.
We should do it again.
I think I to all the audience watching this, whoever you are, I thank you kindly for listening through the very end. I hope you enjoyed the absolute disaster that you just listened to. Join us for episode 4 next time, if that ever even gets made.
Yeah. Alright. Have a good night, everyone.